And welcome back once again to the headquarters of the 1890 Initiative in downtown Lincoln. Big Red Rally Day on the campus of UNL in the capital city. Brandon Axmit back with you, joined by another Husker football standout, Cam Lenhardt. Cam, first off, how you doing? How you feeling today?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling great. I'm ready to go.
Got that school spirit for Big Red Rally Day, ready to talk NIL and football?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's jump right in. So obviously, spring ball, it's taking place. Red-white game is just around the corner. Before we talk about that, how was the offseason for you? Obviously, a lot of positive momentum from the football program. What was the time away like prior to getting back to putting pads on?
A big thing for us is chasing 3 points. So just doing everything, we can to, close that gap. And for me, a big thing going into the off season to help us chase the 3 points is, I would say, increasing my pass rush, getting stronger, gaining more weight. That was a big thing for me, gaining weight. And I would just say, just getting stronger, my mobility, things of that nature.
Where are you trying to get to weight-wise? Where were you and what's the target?
So I'd say, towards the end of the season, I was about, 250. Now I'm 260, pushing for 265.
All right. And where's that bench at now? Where are we getting those weightlifting benchmarks at? You at the 400 yet?
Close to it.
Hey, we'll take it. So sticking with spring too, red-white game is just around the corner. Fans will be back into Memorial Stadium. You'll be hearing the roar of the Husker faithful. Excited? Not excited? I think you probably are, but what does that mean when the spring game is just around the corner, and how do you feel about it?
No, it's a privilege to be in there with all those fans, and just hearing that roar again. It's been a while since we've been back in there, since November. Just be able to be around that environment, I love it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about last season when you were hearing that roar pretty much every Saturday. Freshman defender, you were the first defensive lineman to start a season opener at Nebraska as a true freshman, second freshman to start any game in the modern era. What did that mean to you, and what do you think led you to have that type of success early on in your career?
A big thing for me, where I come from, the powerhouse that I come from, it helped me, prepare me a lot. Also, just coming early, I came in the spring. I was one of 7 to come in the spring, and just being able to have mat drills and the spring ball under my belt helped me out a lot. And just being able to learn a coaching style was a great tool. It helped me because I learned just as everybody else did because me and the coaches got in at the same time. So,
well, you referenced the powerhouse. For those who are unaware, IMG Academy. What made it the right move for you to go from there to Nebraska as opposed to somewhere else?
I would say IMG, the style of play and the coaching is very similar. So that was a big thing that took into place to make my decision here. And then also I wanted to be somewhere where it's a good tradition. Because IMG, it's a newer school, but the tradition, and that name that IMG holds, just like Nebraska. So.
Well, you mentioned you wanted a good tradition. You've been here a year. How do you feel that's been? Have you been embracing the tradition? Have you felt embraced by the tradition of the Husker faithful? What is year one in that experience for you been like?
No, it was definitely, last year was definitely a learning experience. Learning the traditions and things of that nature. This team is deeply rooted with culture, and just being able to be a part of that is something special.
You talked about the system, so with Coach Rule and then Coach White, is the defensive system much different than what you were doing at IMG? Very similar? Can you kind of compare and contrast what you were doing there to what you're doing with Coach White here?
So a big thing for me at IMG and here is very similar, is just being able to be versatile and playing many different positions across the D-line. That was something I was doing at IMG. So being able to come here and do that, that's just helped me showcase my talents.
Well, sticking with the defense, it was showcasing its talent across the board with those 11, one of the best in the nation last year. Maybe surprised some people, but now that you have that foundation going into year 2, what is the expectation and what are you trying to accomplish as a unit this season?
No, from the day we stepped in for this off-season training, we don't ever get complacent, and the pressure is even being applied on us even more. So it's just being able to be a part of that and like, it's never good enough, and just constantly always working as a defense, to be even like the number one defense in the country. That's always something that we're striving for. So like every day, like, we're pushing each other, and like, I'm with like Jamari Butler, Nash, Riley, we're all pushing each other to be better, competing against each other. And that's just how the defense grows. And then that's like the things that we're doing every day.
Those players you mentioned, we've talked to them as well throughout the day today and will be. Another thing they hit on was a point of emphasis is creating more turnovers as a unit. What have you been doing in those drills or in that training to really see that translate on the field to getting more turnovers?
Yeah, so like coaches have been like big harps on, turning the ball over, but not only that, it's like your teammates, like they're always like, like, hey Cam, like coming around the corner, make sure you throw that off arm, to be able to come get the ball off, because like that's a goal, like, to help our offense. That's something that we could do, is be able to take the ball away. So just like that's something that's a big emphasis this year, for sure.
Well, a lot of excitement, obviously, around the unit, around Husker football as fall approaches. Something else we wanted to talk to you about here on Big Red Rally Day is obviously NIL. It's fairly new to the landscape. People are learning and understanding more of it. But from your perspective, how has it been working for 1890, and how have they helped, connect you and, the student athletes in the department to NIL and opportunities to give back to the community?
No, yeah, the staff here and the culture and the great people, they help us out a lot, and just being able to be a part of something like this is special. Being able to help me live my day-to-day life, it's special.
Going out, talking to community members, anything stick out to you? I've been asking every player this. Is there one thing that sticks out as maybe, well, this is my most favorite experience I've had thus far, going to a community event or being a part of fulfillment? Anything that jumps to mind? And some, it's we've done so many, it all blends together, but curious to see your perspective.
Like, being able to do stuff like with little kids. We went to the Malone Center and, ref some basketball games and scoreboard and stuff like that, and just being able to be around them, like, that's like it makes me feel good, and being able to be part of this community here in Nebraska, it makes me feel good, and 1890 helps me with that.
Well, Cam, appreciate the time here on Big Red Rally Day. Anything else that you think the state of Nebraska or anyone should know about you, the football program, or what to expect this coming fall?
Death row, D-line, go Big Red.
Hey, you heard it here from Cam Lenhardt. A lot of excitement around the black shirts, this defensive unit, and Husker football here on Big Red Rally Day here on News Channel Nebraska. If you're excited and potentially want to give to these student athletes and help support them, you can go to 1890nebraska.com to donate. You can also text with your mobile device, NEB-NIL 801-801, and support student athletes and the 1890 Initiative's effort that way. Again, that's Cam Lenhardt. I'm Brandon Axmett here at the 1890 Initiative headquarters. We'll be talking to more Huskers throughout the day here on News Channel Nebraska.